Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 213-640-9738. That's 213-640-9738. We aim to please, so expect 24/7 technical support, the latest premium software, instant software links delivered to your email, and PayPal buyer's protection guarantee.
Just when you thought it was safe to submit an idea to your employer, hold on. Before you do, read The Anatomy of a Corporate Lynching, Updated Edition, and avoid the Great White Sharks. Available on Amazon worldwide. And hear the audiobook featuring a cast of actors delivering the facts exclusively at fourthfordbooks.com.
Racism is the most powerful system on the planet, yet it is often perceived as the most taboo subject to discuss. World-renowned activist and best-selling author Tariq Nasheed takes on this challenge head-on in his new book, Foundational Black American Race Baiter. This is the most important book you will need in order to understand the mechanisms of systemic racism and how to counter this system. Get Foundational Black American Race Baiter now at Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. Also get limited autographed collector's editions of the book at officialfba.com.
Yeah. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tariq Radio. I am your gracious host. My name is Tariq Nasheed. Glad to have everybody tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to chop up good game like we always do. I haven't done a broadcast in a few days. Usually I try to do one every other day, but I just got my voice back. So I'm here. I'm here with the family. I need you guys to retweet this, repost this, and more importantly, hit that like button and then hit that subscribe button so we can let everybody know that we're doing real things over here. We're going to chop up some game today talking about racial Rico laws. So we're going to chop up some real good talk today. What we're going to do, we're going to go into a quick commercial break. Let's get that out the way so while everybody's piling in, you don't move a muscle. Again, retweet the broadcast, let everybody know that we're live, and we will be right back right after these messages, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen up, squares. You need to get the legendary book on game, The Art of Mackin', by author Tariq King Flex Nasheed. Available on Amazon right now. Can you dig it? This book has been a bestseller for 20 years, Jack, and the New York Times called it a classic. That means it's out of sight. So this book ain't for no lames who ain't trying to learn the game. Jive turkeys. So if you're ready to stop slacking in your mackin', get the Art of Mackin' book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble right now, sucker. Rated PG. That stands for plenty of game. Jive chumps.
Are you looking to start your own business? Millions of brothers have turned to eBay to escape the rat race. Become your own boss and get the Power Seller Research ebook. It's a comprehensive, step-by-step guide that explains how to start an eBay business. The website is powersellerresearch.com. Again, that's powersellerresearch.com.
What's up, family? Check out debudmarketing.com. Do you know the CARES Act administered by the IRS currently has tax credits, that means cash, available for businesses that were hurt by the pandemic during 2020 and 21? If you had 5 W-2 employees and were shut down, you probably qualify. Check out debudmarketing.com and fill out a 5-minute questionnaire. That's DEBUD marketing.com. Shop at oxywellness.com to experience the natural benefits of what CBD can do for you, your health, and your well-being. Their CBD brand called Oxygen has a THC-friendly product line that addresses several ailments like pain, inflammation, stress, and much more. You can also get in on the distribution side of the game by getting involved in launching your own CBD franchise. So get with them right now at oxywellness.com. That's OXZWELLNESS.com.
Tired of being embarrassed by the odors left behind after pooping? I've got the solution. Poo-Poo Vanish. That's right, Poo-Poo Vanish. Poo-Poo Vanish will vanquish those embarrassing odors left behind after taking one of those messy poops. Just spray in your toilet bowl after pooping and bam, odor's gone. Leave the bathroom with a smile knowing the person that comes in after you won't smell the bomb you just dropped. Go to www.zacurebody.net to secure your bottle of Poo-Poo Vanish now.
The year is 2079. The futuristic nation of New Albion has been created to maintain a new racial apartheid system. There is a planned genocide that is going to target the nation's black population. A small group of black revolutionaries band together to launch guerrilla warfare attacks against their oppressors. Do they fail, or do they succeed? Find out the answer by reading the book Avoid the Machines, the new novel by author Scotty Vasco. Avoid the Machines, now available on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com.
Bro, stop playing and start spraying. Leave an op on the ground where you stand. At all costs, yeah, make sure you protect it. Ogun juice, the formula been tested. You can defend yourself. If you find that you need a little help, gotta stay ready. Ain't no love in the street. Pepper spray straight to the face, make them get weak. Get it at ogunjuice.com. If they thinking you slipping, then tell them to come get them some. If you packing this, you won't be lacking. A shot to the eye in them problems you having. Maximal strip, hit them haters on ground, so you can feel free when you out in the town. Ogun juice, and don't forget a shirt, man. You gotta stay ready. That evil on alert. Yeah.
Let's get down to it. You are now tuned in to the godfather of the game, often imitated and always celebrated.
Stop sloganeering. Sloganeering kills people.
Hey, yo, check this out. It's Tariq Nasheed on Tariq Radio.
Let's
go.
Be my goddamn summer law.
Oh, we're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. How y'all doing? Glad to have everybody tuning in. Family, I hope you guys are having a great afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, just trying to make sure everything is good. My volume is good. Everything is good. Finally got my voice back. And it's still not 100%, but yeah, I haven't been able to go live. I haven't been able to get on the Twitter Spaces for the last couple of days because my voice was completely gone. And I think that was the ancestors getting me to sit my ass down because I got a lot of other work done as far as the documentary series that we're doing. I got a lot of stuff done within these last few days that I have not been able to speak. So I think sometimes the ancestors will set you down, put you in a position so that you can take care of some other business. You understand? So now I'm back to get my speak on, so I'm here. I'm here and I'm ready to chop up some good game, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get right into it, family. As you know, some of you know, in the media right now, they're talking about a case where rapper Young Thug down in Atlanta, down in Georgia, the rapper Young Thug and his crew, some people associated with his record label, YSL, they are now rebranding his record label, his production company, as a gang. And they have hit him up with a bunch of Rico charges, a bunch of racketeering charges. They are saying that Young Thug, is it Young Slime? What's the L stand for? I know it's Young Slime something, right? Oh, let me see what the L, what's the L? Yeah, Young Slime Life, okay. Young Slime Life, that's the name of his production company. All right? A lot of entertainers, they have production companies and they blow up their production companies, but in the system of white supremacy, they can hit you with I'm white and I say so. And they did the I'm white and I say so, and they said, well, damn it, your record company is actually a gang. And since you're a gang and you're operating as a gang, we're going to hit you with Rico charges to get you and your entire crew, your roster of artists. We're going to get all of you. Young Stoner Life. Okay, it's Young Stoner Life. I thought it was Slime. Okay, Young Stoner Life. Okay. Young Stoner Life. Somebody say, yeah. Listen. Now, family, this is nothing new. They've been going after black record labels for decades. They've been going after black record labels since the damn 1950s. They would go after them because of payola. They've always done this thing where they target black record labels, black production companies. Our good brother Sam Cooke, remember when he had an independent label, he had a label and he had Muhammad Ali signed to his label. They went after him. He was being warned by other black entertainers who were clicked in with inside information about the mafia, and the mafia has always worked with the government. Sam Cooke, remember, he was getting warned, hey man, you kind of need to lay low. You know, you got this production company and you got this record label going on, and people like Sammy Davis was warning Sam Cooke. And as we know, our brother Sam Cooke mysteriously got killed down at a motel in LA. And there has been mystery about that to this day. But you look at black record labels, they've always criminalized them. Murder Inc. Look at what they did to Irv Gotti. Destroyed his label. Jay Prince, they've gone after Jay Prince for decades. Luther Campbell, Luke Skywalker Records, they were going after him. Those big cases in the 80s and 90s of free speech. These black people making all of this money with these production companies. All they have to do is rebrand it as a gang or some type of criminal activity, and then they'll hit you with RICO laws. This has happened all across the board. I talked to a brother named Greg Mack some years back. Greg Mack created the first 24-hour full-time hip-hop radio station, which was K-Day. Out here in Los Angeles, 1580 K-Day, KDAY. That was the first all hip-hop radio station out here in Los Angeles, got started in the 80s. That was the best radio station ever. And Greg Mack told me that they were going up to the station, the feds were asking about Eazy-E. They were trying to get some information on Eazy-E. They were investigating Ruthless Records back in the 80s. You understand? They've always done that. They've always gone after black record labels. Death Row Records, as we know, all the stuff that was going on. Now, they said that was a criminal enterprise, but notice they never go after the white distributors. If Death Row and all of these other labels, if Ruthless and all of these people are running criminal enterprises, the people making the bulk of the money are the distributors, the white distributors. So how come they're not a part of the criminal enterprise? Again, Ice-T, that's another brother. Ice had an independent label. They went after Ice-T. They're going to almost every independent black record label. They were going after them, criminalizing them. They've always done that. But when they were going after Death Row, they didn't go after Interscope. When they were going after Tupac and all of that, when they were saying that Tupac's records were causing people to commit crimes, remember, they were going after Tupac before he was signed to Death Row. A lot of y'all are not old enough to remember this. They were trying to put Tupac in jail because they were saying somebody listened to his record and went out and shot some folks. So they were going after Tupac even before he was on Death Row Records. But they were not going after his distributor, which was Interscope. He was signed to Interscope. They didn't go after them. You see? See, these RICO laws, they were supposed to go after the mafia and all that, but they've racialized the RICO laws. So they used that to get black people in large numbers. Kwame Kilpatrick, they used the RICO law against him. So they've always used these RICO laws to flip it, these racketeering charges, by using I'm white and I say so. And criminalize black people in large numbers. All they have to do is say, your record company is now a gang. Your record company is a criminal enterprise. It's being used to funnel drugs. It's used to funnel extortions. Just something white not say so. So this is nothing new. So my people, when you are a black person, you can't be oblivious to that. Now let's go back to Young Thug with Young Stoner Life with his record label. They done rebranded YSL into a gang. It's just a record label, but I'm white and I say so them and said it's a gang. And remember, in a system of white supremacy, all black people are gang members. You understand? If it's 2 or more black people, they'll say that you are a gang. So they said that YSL is responsible for dozens of murders in Atlanta. And here's the thing. When they go after you, they go after black folks who are generally not as conscious as they should be. You see? This is why it's important for black people, especially black artists, don't hop on the coon train or don't fiddle with the coon train when you get your paper up. Because what happens is these white execs in the white government, they'll let you get your money up. And when you get that money up, you start thinking, okay, well, I'm different. I ain't like the rest of the niggas. I've arrived. I rose up from the gutter, and now I don't have to abide by the same rules as regular niggas. I'm different. Y'all had Antonio Brown. He said some Sambo stuff. I don't know if the dude was trolling. Did y'all see what Antonio Brown said the other day? I should get an audio of it. Let me see. Let me look it up real quickly. Let me see if I can find a video of it. Now, Antonio Brown should know better. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a video of it. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Where did he say? Okay. I don't want to play a video and it's somebody else talking. Okay, hold on. I think this is hopefully. Okay, let me play this. Okay, hold on.
You don't have to ask.
Okay. Now this is Antonio Brown. He was up here talking about ain't no racism in America. Hold on. All right, let me play this. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Hold on.
Self-pity or be a mentality of being victimized. There's no racism. You can do what you want in America and the world. Only you can breathe for yourself, and like only you can see with your own eyes. So it's up to what you want. I made $100 million in like football contracts. What, nigga? Nobody gonna fuck with us. What, nigga? We do what we want. You don't have to have self-pity.
Okay. Around a bunch of non-white women. Okay, that was Antonio Brown around a bunch of non-white women and a bunch of non-white people talking about ain't no racism. He made $100 million on his contract, so ain't no racism. Family, that's how they get you. They get y'all Negroes, surround you around a bunch of white girls. You think because these white girls are licking and sucking on you and you got $100 million that you have transcended racism. And you know you have not. And Antonio Brown should know better. They have hemmed him up several times. He should know better. And what happens is y'all sit here playing this ain't no racism game. I'm just getting my money. And then when you get caught up, all of a sudden you want to put a kufi on. Now let's go back to Young Thug. Remember, some of y'all might not remember this, but remember Young Thug years ago, when they asked Young Thug on the BET Hip Hop Awards 2014, let me play this clip. When they asked him about racism or the Mike Brown situation, remember that? Some of y'all might not remember this. Let me jog your memory. This is Young Thug. Hold on, listen to this.
They're doing a special on Mike Brown, the Ferguson situation. What do you think needs to be changed in the way black men are policed in America?
Leave that up with the critics and the laws and all that old shit. We having fun, we iced out, we having money. That's how we doing it.
So you feel like it's not the artist's place to speak on social issues?
No.
All right, don't forget that. All right, let's not forget that. When they asked him about police, when they asked him about what to do with the police and killing black folks and whoop-de-whoop, hey, I'm iced out. I'm getting money. I don't care nothing about that. I'm out. I'm iced out. I'm getting this money. ASAP Rocky said the same thing. Remember, I'm not going to play the clip. Remember, ASAP Rocky said the same thing. ASAP Rocky, they were asking him about racism. And remember, ASAP Rocky is non-FBA. He's from Barbados. Again, these immigrant dudes be thinking that they've transcended racism. Racism, that's something that those FBA niggas got to deal with. You understand? Now, ASAP done got caught up in different countries. You dig? And remember, ASAP was up here talking about, man, I don't care nothing about that racism, man. Racism, man, we out here getting money. Man, we out here popping bottles, getting women, touching bitches. We out here getting money, whoop-de-whoop. Oh, ASAP Rocky was on that. Now look at ASAP Rocky. This happened to him last week, ladies and gentlemen. This police used battering ram to enter ASAP Rocky's property while serving a search warrant. So they were running up in his crib. They arrested him in LAX, so they're hemming him up now. Look like, man, the ASAP mob, watch out. Look like they might be trying to set up the ASAP mob with some Ricos. They might be trying to hit them up with some of those Rico laws. See? Y'all better stop playing this game. When they put a camera in your face, you start denying racism because you got a couple of dollars in your pocket and you got a couple of white girls on your jock. Come on. This thing is real out here. Now, Young Thug later, he tried to do some police brutality songs or whatever. But family, all of that bug dancing ain't it. Y'all should have been on what we on. You guys should have been on what we on. You shouldn't have to learn the hard way. Yeah, they hemmed him up when he was with Rihanna. Again, 21 Savage, they tried to deport him. Y'all can sit up here and play dumb with this thing as much as you want, but it's real out here, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you what the game is about right now. Like I told people before, black crime is actually down. You don't have black crime the way y'all think it is. See, black folks, y'all stop going for this thing. Man, we better stop all this crime. We committing all this crime. No, black people are not. What happens is the white supremacists create a narrative and then you start blaming yourself for what they're doing. And then that ends up justifying what they're doing. Black people, let me tell you something. Black crime is actually down. Black people are not creating a lot of crimes like that. That's why they always holler about some damn Chicago. Just because white people say something don't mean it's real. Black folks believe everything white people say. White people just start talking about, man, all of this crime, 80% of the black people, the crime are committed by other black people. What's with all this crime? Well, that's a statistic that's relevant for every group. 80% of all the crimes for every group happens within that group. That's not nothing unique to black people. 80% of crime that happens to all groups happen within those groups. That is not anything unique to black people, but black people sit y'all dumbasses up. Man, we got to do better than this. Everybody else doing better, and we is not doing good at other crime. These people got all types of organized crimes and real gangs. See, with black folks, we don't have any real organized crime. We do not. Young Thug, Young Stoner Gang, that's not a real crime syndicate. Let's stop. That's a record label with Young Thug and his homies out here just getting high, doing what they do as a record label. We don't have no organized crime. We don't have organized crime, ladies and gentlemen. We just don't. There are no black mafias. We don't have organized crime. But white society, they have to create a false version of the Yakuza, a false version of the Mexican mafia, a false version of the Italian mafia, a false version of some of these other crime syndicates from other groups to try to compare us to them. And there's no comparison. We don't have no organized crime groups. We don't. So they have to create them. They have to just make up organized crime groups. They've always done that. They make up these gangs that don't exist. That's why you never heard of these so-called gangs. You never heard of these so-called crime syndicates that black people are allegedly running, because they don't exist. We don't have the triads. That's a real organized Asian mafia that's international, that's running international drugs, that's running international guns. They're sitting up here ignoring that. Notice you don't see all of these Rico statutes hitting up the triads and the Yakuzas and all of these other groups, but a record label gets front page coverage and you splatter black people all around, because what they have to do, they have to fill these jails up. They have to fill the jails up because black people are not committing crimes. So what they have to do these catch-all crimes. They have to make believe that black people are part of some type of organized gang if they're clicked in with a record label. Say the record label is a gang and everybody who recorded with this record label is a part of the gang. That's how they got Bobby Smurda, by the way, too. They got Bobby Smurda the same way. Had him in jail for 7 years. They got another brother out there in New York, Casanova, 2 times. They didn't hit him with the RICO charge. And now he had to cop out and plead guilty so he can get a reduced sentence. So that's the new slave catching technique, using RICO laws against black people. And they're doing this so that they can get a number of people in these prisons. The name of the game is to get as many black people in the prisons, because the prisons are the new slave plantations, ladies and gentlemen. We have to understand, even during slavery, plantations were basically prison camps. That's all they were. Plantations were prison camps. And they run them the same way today. They're just prison camps. And we have to understand that dynamic, ladies and gentlemen. And when you go to prison, you are, especially federal prison, you are forced to work. You have to work or they will punish you if you do not work in the prison. You have to produce whatever products that they're making. I want y'all to understand, a lot of the manufacturing, they don't outsource everything to China and India. They outsource a lot of manufacturing in this country to the prison. Black folks in prisons are manufacturing a lot of furniture, a lot of iPhones, a lot of other products that people are using in their daily lives. That's outsourced through prison labor. You understand? This is why they try to keep black folks hemmed up into the prison system, even when they find out that they're innocent. There was a case down in Alabama right now. Let me show y'all this. This woman, she's an activist, a white woman. This was down in Alabama. The parole board shot down every single case denying people from being for being paroled. There's a whole bunch of people out there in Alabama, like 28 people who were eligible for parole, and they shot it all down. They wanted to keep him in jail. Now this man, he's been in jail. He's serving a 20-year sentence, and he's been in there for 12 years for marijuana possession. He's at a minimum security prison, a work center, where they work him for $2 a day. This is slavery, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm talking about. This is slavery. The prisons are slave plantations. The prisons are slave plantations. This is why they need these RICO laws, so they can get a number of black people. They just can't do this 1 and 2 criminalizing black folks. The prisons are on the stock market. And because they're on the stock market, you have to maintain prisons. Prisons have to be maintained. How do you maintain a prison? With prison guards and prison inmates. You're not going to criminalize white people. White people are not going to let you criminalize them like that unjustly. If you try to criminalize white people will start showing up to the homes of the wardens and the police chiefs. They're not going to allow themselves to be criminalized like that and funneled into a slave system. White people will, I give them credit, they will start showing up at some of these people's homes and being like, oh, no, that's not going to work for me, buddy. But this is indentured servitude. Did somebody say Young Thug's mom is Haitian? Okay, I don't know. He kind of looks Haitian, by the way. He kind of looks it. But family, like I said, when you have a prison system And understand, the prison industry, it's a whole cottage industry within itself. The prisons feed whole towns and communities. When you have a prison and you have inmates who are the fuel for the prison, you have the guards who work there. You have the bail bondsmen. That's a whole industry within itself. You have the cell phone and the telecommunication companies that make money from all of the high-priced ass collect calls. You understand? Also, the raw materials for the clothes, the prison uniforms, that's a whole industry within itself. The prison food, that's an industry within itself. You understand? They use prisoners to do work for the city, to put out fires, dangerous fires. Shout out to your girl Kamala Harris. They use the prisoners to clean up the freeways and the streets. They use them to plant food and crops. You understand? This is slavery still. Slavery is alive right now. We have to look at it in that context. Slavery is alive right now. And again, these RICO laws, they're not giving them to white people. The Boogaloo Boys, how come there are no RICO charges against the Boogaloo Boys? That's a white supremacist movement where several people are connected to it all around the country, and they have murders under their belts. Not only murders, these people have murdered law enforcement. These people have murdered law enforcement. Also, some of the Boogaloo Boys ran up into the Capitol building last year. These Boogaloo Boys are also connected with all types of extortion and other murder plots. You don't see any RICO laws hitting them. The Proud Boys, they're not getting RICO laws, and these folks are connected to all types of assaults. The reason why you're not hitting them up, because a lot of people in law enforcement, they're connected to the Boogaloo Boys and the Proud Boys. See? These laws are racial. These are racial RICO laws. These laws are designed for black people. Now, black people, we got to keep our eyes open. Now, another thing, you have to stop co-signing unjust, unconstitutional laws when they throw them at black people. Remember a couple of years ago when they were hitting R. Kelly with the RICO? Remember, that's how they got R. Kelly, with the RICO law. And I was telling people, don't co-sign that. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I said, family, do not co-sign this thing with R. Kelly. They're hitting him with RICO laws. And then they had their minions out here trying to shame people. Well, you trying to take up for a pedophile. Oh, what are you doing trying to take up for R. Kelly? That's all cap, by the way. Those shaming tactics, the white supremacists send their minions to do that. I told people, we can't sit up here co-signing no RICO laws for R. Kelly, because that sets a bad precedent. That sets a precedent that can be used against all of us. I was telling people that, screaming that to the top of my lungs. I'm going to show y'all some of the tweets. Here's a tweet from last year. This is a tweet. Look at the date, September 2021. The issues people are rightfully concerned with as far as R. Kelly case was that the judicial system literally used the "I'm white, not say so" defense to twist logic and redefine what racketeering is. These types of arbitrary precedents are usually enforced on racial lines. I warned people a year ago about this racketeering stuff. When they can arbitrarily do it, they'll do it to all of us. That's why they're getting high-profile black people. You should have never co-signed that RICO law against R. Kelly. See, they kept trying to say pedophile, RICO law. They kept trying to mix it up, and there was no correlation. Number one, they didn't get him on no pedophilia. The media was yelling pedophile, and then the court system was doing RICO. They were trying to mesh it all together. See, they were doing sleight of hand tricks, and I was telling people, no, this is a trick. You can't co-sign this. This is not nothing to do with pedophilia. They're using an I'm white not say so law on this dude. They're setting the precedent, family. Don't go for this. And y'all had niggas out here, and let's clear, most of the Negroes going with that, co-signing it, were some of these non-FBA tethers doing that. All right? A lot of the non-FBA tethers, like the Tarana Burks, this is why we've been warning you guys about them. See, they were the ones, the white supremacists get their minions like this to do all the signal boosting for them so they can use their melanin to say, hey, well, it's black leaders who want us to use Rico against R. Kelly. And look at what Tarana Burke said, because people were calling her out even back then. This is 2019. They were calling her out for co-signing the Rico laws. And she was like, well, answer me this. When should black men be held accountable for their predatory behavior? And why is it my job to go after white men? This dirtbag, non-FBA mammy was sitting up here co-signing these laws that she knows and other tethers knew that these laws were going to ultimately target foundational black Americans. They know that. This is why we were calling them out, and we have to understand they know that these laws are going to target us. So here was some more. This is another one of these Somalian mammies up here talking about mute R. Kelly. We were calling them out. And I was calling them out 2019. The white supremacist backed founders of Mute R. Kelly are a couple of Nigerian and Somalian immigrants using R. Kelly to facilitate their anti-black American hostility. I was calling this out. All right, this woman right here who's Somalian, and you had Jamila LePew. All right, we were calling them out because they were sitting up here co-signing these Rico laws. All right, you know, and we made them take down their Somalian flag. She had her Somalian flag up, and we made her take that flag down. Yeah, she took that damn flag down. But you had these non-FBA tethers who were sitting up here co-signing these Rico laws that they knew would ultimately target black people as a whole. They understand that these laws are meant to target us. That's why they co-sign the white supremacists when they do that type of stuff. This is why I say these people are very dangerous. Family, we're not just pointing these people out to be xenophobic. These people are dangerous. These tethers get with the white supremacists and they work with them, and they sit up here co-signing all of their catch-all laws, knowing that it's going to ultimately wipe us out, because that's what the tethers want. The tethers and the white supremacists are all on the same page. The white supremacists want to wipe us out, and the tethers want to wipe us out so they can replace us. The tethers want to wipe us out. They're sitting here co-signing this. They know that these Rico laws are ultimately going to set a precedent, and that's what it's done. So they can use that against black people, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're just hitting black people with Rico laws left and right. They're making up gangs. Well, y'all niggas are part of the lollipop gang. Two of y'all were eating lollipops, so yeah, you're the lollipop gang, and the lollipop was red, so that means you're the lollipop Pyrus. What? Yeah, you're the lollipop Pyrus. That's what you are, niggas. And we're gonna get you on this Rico. And everybody who had a lollipop that day, we're gonna arrest all of them. That's literally what they're doing. They're just making up gangs as they go along, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it is. It's all I'm white not say so. So black folks, you got to be on top of your game. My black entertainers out there, let me talk to y'all for a minute. And again, I can go and show y'all more. The immigrant tethers, Madame Noir, that's run by a bunch of them immigrants. They were going in on black men. R. Kelly Survivor talks about black men not being held accountable. That phrase, black men being held accountable, that was something that was given to them by somebody on the top, because I kept seeing that phrase over and over again as it related to R. Kelly. Well, black men have to be held accountable. We got to hold black men accountable. That's a talking point that was given to them. So now what are we seeing now? Black men being targeted as a group with Rico laws. And some of these damn tethers were sitting here helping them. These tethers are dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. Us differentiating ourselves from these tethers, we should have been doing that a long time ago. Dealing with the white supremacists, it's already enough. But then when you have these tethers among us, working with them against us, that's unacceptable. You understand? This is why we have to separate ourselves from these other damn groups. These other groups will sell us out at the drop of a hat, man. We can't sit up here and screen all of these folks and figure out who's on code, who's not on code. The common denominator of the off-code people are usually these non-FBA tethers who sit up here working with the white supremacists to undermine and wipe us out. And that's what we're seeing now. This is how dangerous these people are, man. And let me tell you something. If we went over there to their home countries doing the stuff that they're doing, getting with the media over there to undermine the native people there, these people would stone us to death. They'll put a tire around our bodies and set it on fire. They wouldn't allow that. These tethers are dangerous. And I've been warning folks about all of these people. So many people I've been warning folks about. So many people. And down there in Atlanta, they sat up here and said that YSL has a bunch of bodies piled up and all of this stuff. Oh, they're responsible for a bunch of gang killings and all this stuff. And y'all, DA down there, Fonnie Willis. Oh, Lord. Fonnie Willis and family. That's another one I've been warning y'all against. Fonnie Willis is the DA down there in Atlanta. Let me show y'all some tweets. I've been warning y'all about Fonnie Willis. This is 2020. I was desperately trying to get y'all to vote for Paul Williams, put him back in office. Paul Howard, I'm sorry, to get Paul Howard back in office. I was warning people about Fonnie Willis. She's all clicked in with the police down there. I told her this is Fonnie Willis. She was endorsed by the damn police union. So red flag, red flag. I said, family, that's a red flag. This woman is going to go after the black folks out there in Georgia. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, black folks, you are in danger if this woman gets in office down there in Georgia. Fonnie Willis is bad news. And I told y'all she was going to squash that case against the race soldier who shot the brother down there. Remember the black man got shot by the race soldier down there, Rashard Brooks? I told people that woman, when things die down, she's going to protect that race soldier. And sure enough, she did. She threw the case out. She squashed the case. I was warning people years ago. Man, when we say something, man, people got to get on it, man. I'm telling people, police union Fonnie, this woman is bad news, bad news, bad news. I couldn't say it loud enough. Bad news, y'all. I'm pointing out with all the receipts. Look who's endorsing this woman. Police unions. Fonnie Willis is a problem. She's going to be a problem in Georgia. Now, they're letting her be the front mammy for the Rico statutes out there now. Understand, she's just a puppet for the white supremacists out there. She's their bought and paid for mammy. I told y'all she was bought and paid for. So let me show y'all the press conference of her talking about the charges and all of this stuff and how, you know, she's labeling them a gang. And this is Fonnie right now. This is Fonnie. All right, hold on. Let me play her audio. Hold on.
That included not just Jeffrey Williams, which is of some notoriety and media attention, but about 28 defendants that operated within our community between the time period of 2012 and 2022. It is our allegation that they operated as a criminal street gang and commenced to do havoc in our community. That havoc includes crimes of violence, crimes of theft, crimes involving drugs. I've made no secret about it, nor any apology that as the district attorney of Fulton County, my number one focus is targeting gangs. And there's a reason for that. They are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all of the violent crime that we are seeing within our community. And so they have to be rooted out of our community. I said just a week or two ago, it does not matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a street gang, that you are going to become a target and a focus of this district attorney's office, and we are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the...
Unless you're white. Unless you're white. Now, if you're part of the Boogaloo Boys, if you're part of a police sheriff gang, which there are a bunch of down there in Georgia, if you're part of the Proud Boys or the Klan, she's going to ignore you with her little janky edges.
I agree with Chief Bryant. What you see yesterday and what you will see in the upcoming months and years is the result of a lot of hard work by both the Atlanta Police Department and this office. We are proud to bring forth this indictment and hopefully to bring justice to a lot of the community who was victimized through the course you see in this indictment. But more importantly, the most important thing that we are here to do is to keep this community safe. And we believe removing these 28 defendants will keep Fulton County safer.
Okay. All right. So that's Fannie the Mommy. Fannie the Mammy. All right. Fannie the Mammy. Oh, Lord. And yeah, this is why black faces in high places don't mean nothing. If you get a mammy up there, I don't go for that. Here's a black face and some black girl magic and we should support him. No. And if we don't support him, well, you hating on the sisters. You just don't want to see the sisters shine. All they do is just put mammies and prop mammies up to do the dirty work for the damn white supremacists. If you don't have a black agenda, I ain't rocking with you. At least Paul Howard, and I chopped it up with Paul Howard, he was going to prosecute some of them race soldiers. I'm like, this is what y'all need to get behind. But Atlanta, y'all doing all that twerking, y'all down there lollygagging, booty popping, Bucci shaking. Come on, y'all got to be on top of it when y'all have people like this put in office. She's talking about all this crime she's going to stop, meaning she's just going to target black people. If you're going to target all the drugs and the guns, how come you're not targeting the Asian mafia who brings a lot of the guns and drugs out there and all of those Asian massage parlors that's all over Atlanta? If you're going to target something, a lot of Hispanics out there bringing drugs in Atlanta too, by the way. You're just going to target the black people. You see, this is why we can't play this game with these folks. Family, we cannot play this game with these people. Co-signing them just because they are blackface. That's not going to work. You got to have a black agenda. We're not co-signing black faces out here. And this is why they got to get us on the voting treadmill. I saw something recently too. This is another thing we got to watch out for. With excuse me. They're trying to get Jay-Z. Look at this. Rock Nation. Jay-Z's Rock Nation convenes social justice summit to drive action amid midterms. They see that black numbers are low. Black people are not really trying to support the judicial process right now because we're not getting anything out of it. So now they got Jay-Z, and they're going to try to use Jay-Z to drum up some grassroots support. Not going to work. Not going to work because the grassroots, the real grassroots, and shout out, I like Jay-Z, but Jay-Z is not the Negro whisperer. There's a real grassroots movement out here, and people are getting more politically sophisticated, and we got to get some tangibles. Showing up with Jay-Z or Beyonce or whoever, that ain't a tangible. We're not starstruck on the grassroots right now. Bringing them around and parading them around, that's not going to work. You bring Jay-Z around, Jay-Z better let us know what tangibles we're getting from the politicians. That's not going to work. So Jay-Z is going to have some kind of summit. Headliners include Charlemagne the God, civil rights attorney Ben Crump, Dream Corps founder Van Jones, Until Freedom co-founder Tamika Mallory, and professor and author Michael Eric Dyson. No, this is not it. Now, the only real person on here that I would give credit to is Charlemagne. Charlemagne will at least, and Charlemagne, he's not really committed to any party. He's not a do-boy for the Democrats from what I've seen. Charlemagne is the only one who will ask them some real hot seat type of questions. Charlemagne is the only one who will really, really do that. Surprisingly, he's the only one that'll keep it on 100 and ask some real shit. Everybody else, no. No. Michael Eric Dyson, all of these other people are do-boys and products of the Democratic Party. No. Michael Eric Dyson, no, I don't want to hear Michael Eric Dyson babble and rhyme. Chocolate, caramel cuteness and dark deliciousness, and y'all just don't want to see the black girl magic. Y'all want to see the black girl, the Supreme Court Justice, the beautiful black woman. She got a white man because the brothers didn't want the brothers didn't want her, so the black man saw her caramel cuteness and her chocolate charm and her dark deliciousness. No, that ain't it. We're not trying to hear all of that babbling for the Democrats. We're not trying to hear all that. And Tamika Mallory, they call her Chevy Shabazz because she was doing the car commercial. Remember that? Somebody called her, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard. They called her Chevy Shabazz because she did that Cadillac commercial talking about social justice. And she did a Cadillac commercial and they had transgenders in the commercial. I'm like, oh my God. Lord, this is not it. We are not going for this, ladies and gentlemen. This is not it. We are not falling for this. Boo, boo, I'm throwing tomatoes, boo. No, that ain't gonna work. Y'all not gonna try to drum up some false grassroots support. That's not happening. We're not doing that. That is not going to work. We're going to need tangibles, ladies and gentlemen, because we got too many white supremacists working in law enforcement out here. It's dangerous for foundational black Americans. We need some paper. We have laws targeting us right now. You have illegal aliens coming into this country and they're not even being touched. They're bringing in all types of drugs, guns. They're bringing in pedophiles from other countries illegally, just coming over here doing God knows what, and you're not targeting them, but you're finding record labels and rebranding them as gangs and targeting them. And you have white supremacists out here. Y'all heard the case about Casey White, the white supremacist running around with the white woman who's the correction officer. She sat up here and let his ass out of jail. And only a couple of local news outlets associated his ass with the white supremacist gang he's a part of. But most of the mainstream national media, they're not letting you know that this guy is connected to a damn white supremacist gang. And they're downplaying that, and they're making it seem like the relationship between him and the corrections officer was some kind of manipulation of a vulnerable woman. They're almost making it like some kind of tragic Bonnie and Clyde type of thing. It's a tragic romantic love story of two troubled lovers risking it all to be together against all odds. Oh, kiss my ass. That was a suspected white supremacist guard who let him out. That shows you how connected law enforcement is to the white supremacists. Also, they caught them. She shot herself in the leg and she died. I want to know who was harboring them for the week or so that they had escaped. Nobody's talking about that. Where were they all of this time when they were on the run? Who was harboring them? He's part of a white supremacist gang. Where are the other gang members? And he was in jail for murder. That's a serious white supremacist criminal. Let me go back to him for a second. That's a serious criminal. This is no lightweight white supremacist. He's like 6'9", and these are his tattoos. This dude has all types of Nazi logos, the Southern Pride, white supremacist gang, all of that stuff. Yeah, this is the real deal. This is an OG white supremacist right here. Yeah? So she sat up here protecting this guy. And again, law enforcement, they work with these white supremacists. They let these white supremacists shank black folks. They'll go to jail, and the COs will chain black folks up and then let a bunch of white supremacists in to shank them. They do little stuff like that. They did something like that recently in Ohio, and there had to be some kind of payout because the white supremacist prison guards were working with the white supremacist inmates to attack black folks. See, they were doing that nonsense out here in the California prison system in the 60s. They were doing that a lot in the 60s, and BGF shut that shit down. Black Guerrilla Family, that's why Black Guerrilla Family got formed, to stop all of the CEOs, the COs from working with the white supremacists, shanking black folks and killing black folks indiscriminately, and nothing being done about it. Our good brother George Jackson said, hey, you know what? If that's how you gonna do, it's gonna be an eye for an eye. Anytime a black person gets shanked or killed in here by a white supremacist or a CO, we're taking one of you out too. That's just what the new rule is. That's the new rule. So if we die, you die. That's just what it's gonna be. You take one of us out, we're gonna take one or two of you out. That's all it's gonna be at this point, eye for an eye. And they cut that shit out after a while. Eventually, they cut that out here. Letting them white supremacist shank brothers up in jail and all that. No, they cut that out. The BGF made sure they stopped that. They were dead ass serious about that. You shank a black person, 2 COs are going over the rail. You dig? And that energy spread to prisons all around the country, by the way. Attica, they had that same energy. Remember, Attica, they turned up in Attica because of the death of George Jackson. You dig? But family, these folks are not getting hit with RICO charges. These white supremacists, they're not hitting them with RICO laws or RICO charges at all. They're not hitting them up. You see, when it comes to white supremacy, everybody turns a blind eye to white supremacy. Even the organized white supremacy, the white supremacist gangs, law enforcement turns a blind eye to it. See, we can't co-sign double standards. That's why if you see a black person getting hit with RICO laws and all that unjustly, don't sit your, even if the person is guilty of something else, you don't co-sign an unjust law. 2 wrongs don't make a damn right. Especially when the wrong is designed to target all of us as a group. We're not co-signing any unjust laws that's going to target black people unjustly. Because white society, they have too much reckoning to do on their own. They're not at liberty to sit up here talking about some organized black gang and all of that when they have too much organized crime and white supremacy within their own ranks. Family, it's 2022. They still have sundown towns around this country. Excuse me. Family, they have open sundown towns around the United States right now. There was a brother who put out a video. He's a truck driver. Where are my Texas people? And speaking of Atlanta, my Atlanta people, speaking of Atlanta, before I forget, I need a realtor down in Atlanta. Excuse me, my throat is getting janky again. My brothers out there, brothers or sisters, if you are a realtor down in Atlanta, email me, because I got some business I got to do down there, some real estate stuff. If you are a realtor down in Atlanta, certified, and you are thorough, email me, info@tariqelite.com. My Atlanta realtors, and not no janky realtors. I mean, if your shit is together, email me so we can do some business. I got some business to do as far as real estate down in Atlanta. Email me, my Atlanta realtors. Email me if you are thorough. I'm gonna check your reviews too, by the way. Yeah, don't email me nothing. I check your reviews, and your reviews are janky. Email me, my Atlanta realtors. Email me. But what my Texas people? Let me talk to my Texas people. Down in Texas, do y'all know they got a sundown town in Texas? What's that town? Vidor. Is it Vidor? Yeah, Vidor, Texas, right? You have a town right now called Vidor, Texas. Vidor. Vidor, Texas down there. It's a small town. I think like 9,000 people. And I think it's like 0.1% black down there. I think it might be 7 black people in this town. Vidor, Texas. What, y'all heard of Vidor, Texas? Where my people? If you go to Texas, everybody says you got to stay away from Vidor, Texas. Do not go to Vidor, Texas at night. This is right now. Everybody in Texas, all the black people in Texas know about Vida. You can't go to Vida, Texas at night. And they're open with the white supremacy down there. They're like wide open with the white supremacy where black folks cannot go there at night. Let me show, there's a video of a brother who's a truck driver. And he did a video talking about Vida. Hold on, let me play this video. Hold on, guys. Right now, this is not 1922. This is 2022. A damn open sundown town. Hold on.
Let me tell y'all as quickly as I can about my night in a sundown town. Excuse me. Yes, I said that correctly. A sundown town. 2022, a sundown town. For those who don't know what a sundown town is, look it up on Google. But anyway, so I get a load going to a particular city in Texas, and I'm like, okay, well, let me head on over here and drop this off. They're gonna pay me this much. That's perfect. I like that. It's a quick 200 miles, make it quick. You know, whatever the amount was, great, cool. I get there, and I look at the exit. I'm like, wait a minute. It took me to exit 861A. For those who don't know, it's a place called Vidor, Texas, Vidor, Vidor. I'm like, uh-oh, I heard stories. Like pretty much everybody I know in Texas that's black tells me, do not go to Vidor, Texas. I'm like, okay. Yet here I was in Vidor, Texas. My load didn't deliver until this morning. This is from the perspective of yesterday. Didn't deliver until tomorrow at 8. It was like 5:30. So I get to the place. I'm not giving names of companies or anything like that. But while I'm driving to the place, I see trailer parks. I see a bunch of Confederate flags. I saw a doll of a black man. It was just a doll wrapped in a Confederate flag hanging from a tree by its neck. That's the type of stuff I saw in Vidor, Texas, which led me to believe that the reputation was fairly earned. I get there, the security guard says, hey, we got a code red. The guy gets on the phone, is like, hey, I can't, I don't want to be responsible for this guy's safety. Let me go ahead and find somebody because we stopped taking loads at 4 o'clock. But I'll get somebody over here from the other side of the plant. Tell them to hang on. So I hang on. I'm doing what I got to do. Finally, somebody comes by about 15 minutes later. The guy said, let me hurry up and get you unloaded. He quickly gets me unloaded. And they said, dude, you might want to get up out of here as soon as possible. We're at sundown. You want to leave here now. Don't stop until you at least get to Beaumont. I was like, okay. He was like, no, seriously. I said, well, what about the police? Why aren't the police there? Police turned a blind eye. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do what you said. He said, yeah, man, I don't want to see you getting in any trouble. So I went ahead and I took off, headed to Beaumont. I went to the Petro in Beaumont, slept there, and I had my.
All right, so yeah, that's the basic of it. All right, so that's the basic of it. So yeah, this is a brother describing, having to deliver his load at a sundown town. I know some of my black truck drivers know about that around the country. Where are my black truck drivers? I know there's some other black truck drivers who travel around the country and they're told, hey, you got to watch it in certain towns at night. We got sundown towns right now. Right now, wide open white supremacist sundown towns, and the police are the ones who enforce the sundown policies. These unwritten policies, these unwritten rules where black people are not supposed to be in these towns, and the police turn a blind eye to black people being harmed. And the police are down with it. Yeah, this is how they maintain these towns because of the police. The police, as we know it, it's a white supremacist regime at this point. We have to look at it like that. And black folks, this is why let's go back to the Rico laws. We have to look at this as a white supremacist regime. It's unjust. It's not legitimate. You don't co-sign some shit that ain't legitimate. When they're using Rico laws to target black people, law enforcement in this country is not legitimate, man. It's racial targeting. The problem is you got too many black folks, usually non-FBA, who will co-sign the racial targeting. Not cool. Law enforcement are just as dirty as some of the other white supremacists that's running around here. And we don't let these people sit up here and criminalize us and black folks sit here justifying large numbers of black people being targeted. We have to replace this unjust system with the system of justice, ladies and gentlemen. Again, white supremacist society, part of the game is immunity from law and letting people classified as white get away with anything. Speaking of that, did y'all see what was going down at the basketball game with our brother Chris Paul? Chris Paul almost had to put hands on this cat, or a couple of people, for messing with his mom at a damn game. His mom was in the audience, and some suspected white supremacists kept messing with her. They kept tapping her, putting their hands on her, touching her, talking about, yeah, happy Mother's Day. They kept harassing his mother, and Chris Paul almost had to get up and put hands on these folks. And hold on, let me play a clip here. This is the aftermath. This is one of the suspected white supremacists, because there was a couple of them who was messing with Chris Paul's mom. But hold on. Hold on. So yeah, all right. Walking him out like he's a victim, and they caught, Chris Paul was like, hey man, I'll see you later. I'll see you later. And they were trying to almost make it seem like Chris Paul was the one in the wrong. Yeah, these little suspected white supremacists get around black people, like the white boy did with Mike Tyson and got socked up on the plane. And thankfully, they're not going to charge Mike Tyson because it was clearly the other guy's fault. But even with Chris Paul, they were almost trying to make it seem like Chris Paul was in the wrong. Hell no, this dude was up here putting him and some others. It wasn't just this guy, it was some other guys too. The one that we saw on video, he was just one of the ones who got caught on camera getting ejected from the game, but he kept putting his hands on Chris Paul's mom. They kept harassing her. These cowardly white supremacists, because they can't compete on the field, they have to do their dirty work outside, which is their court. Their court is the court of white supremacy. They understand outside of the basketball court, you got to play by the white supremacist rules. See, on that courtroom, the brothers, they're going to master the game and they're going to run circles around your ass. Just like Larry Holmes said, hey man, when I get you in that ring and start beating your ass, you can't call the police. Larry Holmes used to say that. When I get you in that ring, you can't call the police because I'm going to beat that ass. You can't call the police. But outside the ring, yeah, you have the system of white supremacy to protect you. Yeah, they kept touching this dude's mama. Man, please, he should have had hands and feet put on him by the audience. See, they let these people get away with assaulting the families of athletes, and all they do is eject them. Now, if a black person put their hand on Tim Tebow's mama, whatever, do you know how many assault charges that would be on a black person putting their hands on the relatives of a white athlete? If a black person went in there putting their hands on the families of white basketball players, there would be Rico laws all around the neighborhood. They'll be like, it's the finger touch gang, and they'll arrest 20 niggas. Oh, it's a gang of y'all who be touching people with your fingers. It would be more Rico laws. They'll arrest 20 or 30 niggas over that. They'll say it's a gang. They're playing the knockout gang. They tried to knock his mama out. Oh, they'll play that dirty ass game on you. And look, with sports, racism, white supremacy dominates all areas, even sports. And speaking of sports, what's that white boy, that dirty ass white boy who does them dirty plays? Grayson, what's that white boy's name, guys? He's a real dirty ass player. He got crossed up. Somebody crossed him up real good on the court last week. Grayson something. What is that dirty white boy's name? He's a dirty ass player. And they let him play. They let this white boy do these dirty plays. He fouls people, and they let him do it. This guy shouldn't even be playing basketball. What's that guy's name? Come on, help me out with the guy's name. Grayson Allen, that's his name? Yeah. Grayson Allen. That's the little dirty white boy, dirty as shit, man. They let him get away with murder. This dude be tripping people up, elbowing people, doing flagrant fouls. They let him get away with murder. Oh yeah, he got his ankles broken a couple of weeks ago. Somebody shook his ass real good. But they let Grayson Allen get away with murder on that court. They would a black player, he would have been fined. They would have just got him out the league doing the kind of dirty plays that Grayson Allen does. That's the dirtiest player ever. This dude is hella dirty. I mean, he assaults people on the court. It goes beyond fouling. This dude be assaulting people, and they sit up there and just let him do it. You understand? So again, they understand the game. They understand how white supremacy works for them. Yeah, they understand how white supremacy works for them big time. But anyway, let me get up out of here, guys. Do that at the beginning of June. We'll have a Juneteenth package deal. We got some great stuff that we're going to have for the package deal, so you guys stay tuned for that. That's been today's episode of Tariq Radio. Go to officialfba.com to get a whole bunch of great stuff. Go to hiddencolorsfilm.com to watch Hidden Colors 1 through 5. The new streaming service coming soon. We're going to show a new trailer for the new film. We'll show that around the beginning of June too. The new trailer for the new film. We're going to show the new first look trailer for that, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait for y'all to see that. And anyway, go to buckbreakingmovie.com. Follow me on Instagram at Tariq Elite. Follow me on Twitter at Tariq Nasheed. And ladies and gentlemen, you guys